Hi, Tom Kohler, coach for Steve Taylor Community Connection. And this is a good one today, I'll tell you what. Superstar Terry Crosby is here, and we're going to talk about his book. You know, when you write a book, I think a lot of things are important. You need to have a message, number one. But maybe secondly in that line is a title. You have to come up with a great title. And Super Cross has done that. He came up with this title. Superstar Terry Crosby, do you have the balls? And let me tell you folks, Terry as a player, Terry as a person, he does. He's lived an incredible life, and he put it in this book, which is available on Amazon.com, which is a great place to get your books on Amazon. And the thing I like about your book, Cross, is you, as always, you're so honest. You're always so vulnerable. You put yourself out there. You tell people there's no BS, there's no glossing over things. You just tell it the way it really was in your life. And I think that's inspirational to people. I think it takes guts to do that. You know, a lot of people can't retell their story because they have to change a lot of things. You change nothing. You just bring it straight on like a runaway train, and you've had so many successes in your athletic life, in your community life here at Taylor. And I call you Superstar for a reason, Supercross, because that's really what your career has been. So tell us, what was it like for you to do this book?
You know what, Tom, first of all, I want to say thank you so much for having me on. I really, really appreciate that. You know, just having the opportunity to come on and talk about it. But really the emphasis of my book, I mean, I am just so elated that my publisher, Carla DuPont, came up with the title. And initially I was really resistant to run with that because, you know, I didn't want to give people the wrong impression. Yeah. You know, what are you talking about? Do you have the balls type of thing? But thinking about it, you know, and moving forward and agreeing to go with the title, Do You Have the Balls, has been extremely impactful because she said, first of all, it suits your personality. You know, secondly, you know, you did play two sports. So the title kind of aligns with the two sports that I played. But for me, back to your question, but for me to write this book, what I really wanted to do, first of all, was impact lives by the stories I told in the book, by the content that I wrote in the book. Yeah, because I want people to know it's just not about Terry Crosby in sports. As you know yourself.
Yes.
It's a number of different life challenges, you know, situations, you know, some good, some bad, some in between, that is actually written in the book. So that's number one, really to impact lives. The second thing is, you know, even though much the same as your great self, you know, we are kind of out in the public, the general public every day. And not just, you know, doing my career here at Taylor for ambassador, but you know, spanning many, many decades. You know, I've been out in the community, you know, up front. But with that, a lot of people know I love people. A lot of people know that, admittedly, I'm a little bit of an extrovert, okay? But people don't really know Terry Crosby.
Right.
They heard the name. They may have said a few words to me, but like our relationship of friendship over 30 years, we know each other. Right. They don't. Right. So the book gave me an opportunity to open up and to give people a little bit more insight on the real Terry Crosby.
You know, Cross, it's interesting. When you write something, I think anything that you do, and I believe everybody has a book in them, by the way, but when you write something like this, you know, you put your heart and soul into it, and you're always truthful. When I think of Supercross, I think truthful. I don't think in all the years we've known each other, you've ever told me something that wasn't true, or something you didn't really believe. And that's an amazing statement because, you know, people tend to sometimes fabricate things and say different things, but you're always truthful. But when you write a great book like this, you usually learn something about yourself. What did you learn about yourself writing this book?
You know what, I would think, I would say that everything that I've been through in my life, it's not all been cake and ice cream.
Right.
And I'm really amazed at the perseverance and the persistence that I've kind of illustrated throughout my life, because I've had some challenges in my life that, they were very, very difficult to overcome. So as I wrote the book and shared my stories, a lot, like as you said, I opened up to the world.
Yeah.
I let them know the real Terry Crosby.
Yes.
Which included a lot of difficult times in my life, right? And people don't tend to really understand that. They just look at the kind of glossy part of a person's life, but underneath all their gloss, there's some challenges.
Well,
too.
and people think you've had it easy. People
Right.
think anytime you've had success, people, they think, well, he's had it easy. He played professionally for 13 years, was a top draft choice in the NBA. Now he's got this job at Taylor. Everybody sees him in the community.
Right.
He's out having fun, shaking hands, kissing babies, running for office. People think, your whole life is charmed.
Right,
Well,
absolutely.
But it is, but behind that, there are hardships that there isn't anybody that doesn't go through hardships in their life. No matter what the surface may appear, there are things behind the screen. It's been tougher, it's challenging, but what I admire, so many things I admire about you, Cross, but what I admire is you do this it's not self-aggrandizement, it's you want to have other people see that you can face challenges, get up off the floor, and be successful.
Right.
You will never quit. There's no quit in Terry Crosby.
Right.
And I think
Absolutely.
And I think it probably comes from a lot of things. Your great family background.
My parents.
Your athletic background and your coaches.
Right.
But I think a lot of people don't have those things. So when they face adversity, the first thing they do is they kind of cower down and they say, go into rope-a-dope, they cover up, and I can't do it. Well, your mantra always is, I can do it. Let's get it done. We'll get in. We'll do this. We'll do that. You don't accept not being able to do it. Whether it's on the basketball floor, the football stadium, or with Steve Taylor in the community college. It's always, let's go do it. We can get it done. And I think that there's power in that for other people to see.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think for the most part, Tommy, and thank you very much for that. Much the same as you. I mean, you've had a great career. You've had a great life in journalism, broadcasting. People see you on TV. People see you doing podcasts. People see you in seeing things. Okay, that's the glossy part.
Right.
That's the glossy part. But you have actually prepared yourself for all of your career, that all of your career states, right? To get to that level of excellence.
Well, and I think in your book, you're saying nothing is quick and easy.
Right.
I think there's
Patience.
Yeah, there's a misconception today, especially with young people. I think they think it should be quick and easy. I'm talented. Right. I have abilities. Why can't I go right to that $100,000 job? Why can't I drive that car? Why can't I have that big house? Why can't I, if there's anything that comes of any of the things that we've done, we talk about both together.
Right.
Anything that's good doesn't come easy.
Right.
It's hard work. You've worked hard your whole life.
I have.
It's hard work. Right. It's staying the course, not quitting, not giving up.
Right.
And eventually, you're going to come out on the other side and probably be pretty successful.
Right. And that is such a valid point, Tom. That is another reason that I don't care who you are, I really don't allow anyone to devalue my life. Right. Okay. Or try to bury it, or try to go past my achievement, my lifetime achievements. Because guess what? This and my success had absolutely nothing to do with you. Right. Okay? I did this myself. And my hard work and my determination, you're not going to take that from me.
Well, I read a book one time about Larry Bird. And now he's a pretty good basketball player, right?
Right. Top three.
Yeah. And here's what he did to be that good. And every summer he would take one part of his game that he didn't think was as good as it should be. One summer he said, I don't shoot the 15-foot jumper as good as I should.
Right.
So he spent the summer shooting 10,000 15-foot jumpers. Now, if Larry Bird can do that, right? I think the rest of us normal folks can. they say that it's 10,000 is the operative thing.
Right.
If you do something 10,000 times, Malcolm Gladwell wrote the book. I forget the title of it, but that was his thing.
Right.
What made people successful? 10,000. The Beatles did 10,000 shows
right.
before they were, the Beatles.
Right.
The constant repetition of doing the same thing, trying to get better, and that's been your life is repetition, honing your skills.
Right.
And
Right.
that's what the success is.
And also, T, a great point, but people must understand there's a difference between being good and being great.
Oh, no
now,
question.
I'm not saying that I'm one or the other,
but
I will say to you, if you even think that you're good, right, or even if you think that you're great, you still got to put the work in.
Well, the other side of your book.
You still have to put the work in.
The other side of your book, Do You Have the Balls, is you have always had the guts, and I think it is guts is the appropriate word, to put yourself, as Teddy Roosevelt said a long time ago, you'll put yourself in the arena. It's a metaphor, but you have put yourself in the arena in football and basketball and out in the community. But it takes guts to put yourself out there. And when you put yourself out there in front of the general public, there are some people, I don't know what the psychological reason is, I'm not that smart, but they don't want you to be that successful. They'll find the little cracks, or they'll try to, shoot you down a little bit, and you have the guts. You have the guts to do that, and you don't care. There'll be a naysayer here or a naysayer there, and so what? And you're going to move forward. And I think that's a great lesson in your book is put yourself out there, chase your dreams, put yourself out there, and good things will happen to you.
And my intentional fortitude is not to pay attention to what people say that I can't do. My thing is to pay more attention and my own self-belief and what I can do. So that's the difference.
We call you Supercross for a reason, because you can do a lot. The book is Do You Have the Balls? Amazon.com. I can tell you, I had the privilege to know this gentleman. It's a great book. It's a great read. It's inspirational, and it'll make you think about your dreams and what you want to accomplish, because Mr. Crosby has done that. So for Steve Taylor's Community Connection and superstar Terry Crosby, thanks for being with us.